I was 18, I had a Harrington rods put in my back, and I had my thoracic spine fused, about this much of my spine. And about 3 weeks after my surgery, I actually had an overdose on morphine. You know, unintentional, but I overdosed, and I actually bent some rods and snapped 2 screws in my spine.
Oh, wow.
And caused some damage. And so they had to wait for that to heal before they could do the surgery again. But ever since then, I was taking pain medication, going to pain management, you know, all the way through Hell's Kitchen. I mean, and so when I was doing drugs and abusing opiates, it was always pain medication, and I was always going through my doctors.
Yeah.
At one point, I was going to a doctor a week, doctor shopping, of course. I mean, all of us good ex-junkies have always done that. But it was, you know, and I was using IV drugs my last, like, close to 10 years. And, you know, there are so many different ways to come about your sobriety in life. And abstinence was not the way for me. When I talk about sobriety, I would love to clarify this. Sobriety to me, in my definition to my world, is that I am no longer interacting, abusing, touching, or messing with opiate medication in any way. You know, there's always concerns of maybe using alcohol or marijuana will sort of break down your barriers, and you'll be like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to go back to using. Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody has to come to, I mean, bottom line, if I didn't stop using opiates and you know, IV my drugs, I was going to die. I mean, every time you do that, you're gambling just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and when complete abstinence is not working, like cutting everything out of your life might work for a little bit, and then you just, you know, you go back to using, and you know, all that hard work is down the drain. And so, you know, I've managed and felt that using, you know, I live in California here, so I utilized our laws in using, you know, medical marijuana legally, and I enjoy drinking some of the darker beers for flavor, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely, and I don't suggest other people do what I do as far as my sobriety goes, but just, you know, I truly believe that you have to figure out a way to get off the drugs that are killing your life, you know what I mean?
So do you feel like you're not really like, you're not like an alcoholic or heavy, you're not really like doing those crazy things?
Well, because a lot of people, you're always told as recovering addicts that, like, listen, you're recovering from this drug, you can't do any drugs because it's going to weaken your resolve of not doing this drug. You know?
That doesn't make sense in most cases too.
But the statistics and everything tells you